What's up? What's up? This thing on? Look at that. We already got 7 people, 1 like. What's up, everybody? Let me make sure y'all can see my wall art. Ooh, them comments going fast. Man, what's up, everybody? This is my first time on live, so if there's anything messing up, the audio, anything like that, let me know. Dang, the comments going fast. I was gonna say let's give it a minute, but we already at 163. And y'all really roll with me. I appreciate that. This bit blowing up. Watch this. I'm finna put this on Instagram too. I hope y'all don't mind y'all names being on there. It's going so fast, y'all might not see it. Look at how fast these names going. We on live right now. Y'all got me on Instagram. On what is it? At 1090_Jake. Dang. I don't know how I'm finna. I don't know how I'm finna pop this one off. Y'all bear with me. He said 9 Trey BBA. Shine the Billy. Dang, that shit is soaring too right now. We just gonna give it a few more minutes. I want to do a Q&A on this one. A lot of people have been asking me about tattoos. A lot of people have been just asking good questions in general. So I'm gonna do my best to, pick out questions that really stand out. I don't think I'm gonna be able to hit up every single one of them, but man, it's blowing up. We going to the top with it. What's up? What's up? What's up with you? South Florida in the house. That's what's up. Dang. Get those wrenches. I don't even know what wrenches is, to be honest. A couple people reach out to me telling me about wrenches and all that. I don't know nothing about it. Styles 430. Yo, I appreciate that, bro. Big shout out to you, bro. That is real. Big shout out to you. What's up from Malden? What's up, home team? Clearwater. Nah, I haven't heard of. I know what Scientology is, but I haven't met anybody that's involved with that. What gang was I banging while being locked up? You gotta watch my videos. Everybody know. You got the glow behind them. Yeah, I had to. And it changed colors too. Hang on, let me show y'all. I had to put the red, but it changed. It got all the colors on it. I got all that. We go back to my red though. Tattoo on my throat says alive. So it was supposed to be a Roman numeral 5 with alive going across. I think I got the dude that did it on a bad day or something like that. I like how the alive came out, but what's behind it, he played really. Ghost the Renegade, appreciate you, bro. What would end the racial targeting in Florida? The way everything is set up, the way everything is in place, you know what I mean? A lot of these prisons and everything like that is pretty much all white owned in very rural areas where they're not very diverse. I feel like if you bring in, a group of people that I'm pretending to live back in the 50s, will be pretty much good. You know what I mean? Because it's not in prison, it's more blacks going at whites. But hey, Hercules, I appreciate you, bro. It's more blacks going at whites in prison, but on the street is the exact opposite. So it plays a role because whites are putting pressure on minorities on the street. When I say whites, I really just mean specifically police. And then, you do have racists in their own little places. Kendall Watson, appreciate you. Go Bruins. But that racism from the streets, it takes off inside of prison at the same time. It makes the blacks want to go at the whites. You know what I mean? If we figure out everything on the streets, I feel that the prison can come together because we're already all together anyways. Yards aren't separated or nothing like that. You know what I mean? We eat together. You got people of all races that'll be cool with each other. You know what I mean? So if we can figure out the tension on the street, we can figure out the tension inside of the prisons. New York in here, that's what's up. Did I bring a knife to a gunfight? Stop it. How is CFIC? It's rough if you're a YO. If you're on the adult side, it's laid back, bro. It's laid back. They're not really doing, you know what I mean? They're not doing too much in there, bro. It's chilling. If you're in the YOs, you're gonna fight regardless. But if you was on it on the street, it's the same thing. Nah, my forehead tattoo says 500. It's the 300 movie logo, but I got 500. What's understood don't need to be explained. People asking if I'm single. No, I am not. Now you did a decade in Florida. Shout out to you, bro. That's tough. I've only met one Native American in Florida, and his name was Chief. And he was doing 25 years for a murder. He was actually right about to go home while I was in there. What was my prison hustle? My prison hustle for the first like 2 years. Dang, I don't even know how to say your name, but hey, shout out St. Louis. I appreciate you, man. My first prison hustle was really extortion. You know what I mean? Just running down on people. But I wouldn't even say it's a hustle because it's nothing to be proud about. It's not, you got hustles you can stand on and be proud, like, yo, I built this business. That extortion isn't that, bro. But I was starving. My people didn't send me money. I only had 2 family members in Florida that, had other kids to take care of. So it's not like I was really asking for it. But you know what I mean? That's how it is in there. But towards the end of my sentence, I'm gonna make a video about this. I got cool with a CO. And when you get cool with a CO, a female CO at that, she started looking out. Scott, I appreciate you, bro. That's real, nah. Did you come across any people from California? Hell yeah. From LA, from San Diego. I had brothers from California. Straight bloods from California. You know what I mean? Y'all say race this, race that. I don't know what y'all talking about. If you want to compare Florida prison to any other prison system, Florida is the Grand Theft Auto of prisons. Everything, anything is going down. We don't got no rules, no boundaries. Whatever you do when you play Grand Theft Auto, it's the same thing in Florida. Have you been around any celebs? I was around one celebrity, not an actual celebrity, but he was one of the most famous cases in Florida. His name was Lionel Tate. He was the youngest person in Florida to get a life sentence. You ever gonna meet up with 23andMe? I'd be down to meet up with him. I'd be down to get tattooed by him. Florida's soft. You tripping. How do people smoke weed in there? A lot of the COs, they're not even tripping about weed. Like, we call weed 6180. So when you're in prison, the disciplinary report you get, if you get for it, the code for marijuana is 6180. Normally, we got K2 way more than we have weed because they drug test in prison. So, I mean, if they're drug testing, you're not really going to want to smoke bud. But what'll happen is if you're smoking weed, you can take a shirt, a towel, and spin it and kind of air it out. The whole dorm will smell like it, but you got ways of, going about it, spraying things down. Hey, Trevor, big shout out to you, bro. I appreciate that, bro. Garrett, appreciate it. But yeah, like what I used to do is I used to take magazines that would have the little cologne strips on them that you open up and you can smell it. I would take the cologne strip and take like a bottle of water, you know what I mean? Like a plastic bottle. And what I would do is sometimes you can get a Gatorade bottle if a CO throws it out and an inmate, takes the trash out. I would take real hot water, but just a little bit, like maybe like this much. I drop the cologne strip in the water and then shut the top on it and let it sit. And then we had like I knew someone that had a little sprayer that he stole from somewhere, and I used to take the sprayer, fill it up with the cologne water. I would actually spray down my uniform with it. So when I went out in the morning, because I used to go to school, and we had some female teachers in there. So when the sun would hit my uniform, all you smell is the cologne coming off. But we would spray that, and then that's how we would, kind of air out the room. When you smoke K2, all you just smell is just like paper burning. It doesn't really have like a scent like that. You know what I mean? Anthony, bro, I appreciate it, man. What's up, everybody? New Mexico, that's real, bro. Criminals reliving the glory days. Nah, I'm just giving you an authentic perspective on what I went through and where I'm at now. This is end of sentence. This isn't just to focus on what I'm doing inside of prison, but what I'm doing is I'm taking you through the story of my bid so you have an understanding of who I am today. You're not going to understand me if you can't understand my past. So I'm bringing you through my whole story. Confederate Redneck, I appreciate it. Rich Boy 34, I appreciate it. I actually looked up the New Mexico prison riot. Rands, I appreciate you, bro. Can you do shows on prison reform? I want to get into things like that once I wrap up my actual bid. You know what I mean? I want to tell y'all about how it was with me transitioning into society, what I did when I first got out. And then I want to focus on what we can do after the fact. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, you only did 3 years. You're going to run out of stories. Can't run out of stories because my life is a constant story. And that's what I'm projecting to y'all. You know what I mean? I still got things that hold me back. I still, have the focus to keep moving forward. I'm just sharing it with y'all. F Street John, appreciate you. Oh, Lowell in here. All right. Stockton, California. The Diaz brothers. Those are two of my favorite fighters. I still owe you 5 soups. Hey, it is what it is, bro. Nah, I never ran into any Mexican mafia. For the Mexican gangs, honestly, it was just Serranos. That was pretty much it. I didn't meet them, but I saw one MS-13. Nobody really talked to him like that. I never saw a Norteño or none of them. The 13s, bro, there was literally only like 4 or 5 13s on the compound. If a Norteño hit the compound, he's gone the same day. He's not even going to make his bed. They don't play. But they're super, super, super respectful. They don't get out of bounds. They stick to themselves. They eat at their own table. Mad respectful to everybody. Blanca, I appreciate you. Italian mafia? Nah, I ran into one Italian dude, and he was more or less running with the Latin Kings. He wasn't one of them. He just associated more with the Spanish. And in Florida, if you're Spanish, 9 times out of 9, you're going to be a king. JB718, hey, that's real. Now, I appreciate you. From the Bronx to Orlando. That's real. Am I going to do interviews? I am going to do interviews. So if y'all check my Instagram, I have a few pictures of people that are actually tagged on my Instagram that I'm trying to do interviews with. One of them recently got out. Another one of them recently came home from prison. I have to let them transition. I have to let them get comfortable and be in a position where they're able to do something like this. You know what I mean? Not everybody's comfortable and ready to jump on YouTube and meet everybody. Splash, I appreciate you from my side of Detroit. But I have it in the works to bring some people on that I personally did time with and can share stories with. Some of the other people I did time with, the nation that they are a part of, that they can't really speak on things that we did out of there. They have given me permission to share the story though. but I'll be leaving out their affiliation and things like that. But I am definitely bringing people on. I'm not really bringing any randoms on right now, just focusing on people that I've done time with and that I know are solid people that I would like to introduce to y'all, because at the end of the day, knowing that they're getting out, I feel in a sense it can be helpful for them to readjust into society and get the same support that I'm receiving from y'all, you know what I mean, to help them get back into the fix, like in the mix of things. Because when I got out, I didn't jump on YouTube. It was tough, you know what I mean, coming out, and people are looking at you weird. They're not ready for the tattoos. You move differently. You can't have people behind you. You're watching your back. You just, it's a process. But once they get solidified, I'm going to be bringing them on here. Kodak Black, I never heard about him until I got out. 6ix9ine had real people behind him, but he was more or less used. He would be what we call a jizzle in Florida State Prison. Someone that was used. It was because the reason y'all became, or people became fans of 6ix9ine is because of the image. If you saw him on the screen by himself, you would think he was soft. But the people you saw behind him, it kind of solidified his name, but it backfired on everybody. Do the Latinos unite? Most Latinos are going to be Latin Kings. But even if they're not Latin Kings, all the Spanish are united. That's one thing about Florida. Excuse me. As far as race goes, the Spanish are always going to stick together. That's one thing I really respect about them too, is, you know, as long as everything checks out, you don't have any crazy charges, you're not like a fiend or nothing like that, you're not getting into crazy debt and things like that, they're going to have your back, you know what I mean? And treat you like family, make sure you got good clothes, you're representing your people. Nico Rodriguez, I appreciate you, bro. I'm living up in Boston right now. I can't go back to Florida after making this. I was planning on visiting, but after this, nah, those CEOs will hang me. I'll get fed to a gator if I go back down there. Is the politics heavy? We don't have politics in Florida State Prison. There's no politics. It just depends on where you're at. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, Rans. Nah, Latin Kings never died. Never. I'm not going to speak too much on other nations and other things like that, but nah, they're as strong as they've ever been. But yeah, as far as politics, Roman B. Love, I appreciate it. As far as politics go, it's really just whoever's the head of the compound. You know what I mean? I'm going to get into it in one of these coming up videos, but at one point I had a green light on my head just because the people in my organization were looking at my skin color before anything. But I never got touched by none of them. I'll tell you that. So definitely stay tuned for that video. But it just depends on what compound you're at. People that have different politics. You'll have certain gangs at one spot where homosexual activity is accepted by that gang. And if you're in that gang and you don't agree with it, what's going to happen is that gang is going to turn on you. You might be able to hit one of them up, but if you're outnumbered, they're going to get you out of there. You know what I mean? So most people whose affiliation has to do with the gang that's engaging in homosexual activity, they just act like it isn't happening, or they get with it too. So it just depends on what compound you're at, because that same gang at another spot, it could be a no tolerance. They're taking you out the second you get there. Seth, I appreciate you, bruh. From Canada, that's real. D-Lo, appreciate you. From Fort Pierce, yeah, I met a lot of people from Fort Pierce. A lot of people. None of them soft either. I met a white boy from Fort Pierce, an Italian kid who was going in. He was a wrestler in high school, slamming people. He couldn't throw hands, but he slammed you on your neck. Have I ever done time in Mass? Nah. I spent that night in Roxbury in B2. That was it. Can they ban homosexual activity? No. You working at Dunkin' Donuts right now, bro? That's what's up, bro. Ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that. I liked it when I worked at Dunks. You get free coffee. If your brother was at Lancaster those years, I was at Lancaster 2013 and 14. Most people knew who I was too. My name was ringing bells at Lancaster. from South London. That's crazy. I appreciate the support. I don't personally know YNW Melly. I wasn't, you know, he just kind of blew up. But off the strength of who he's affiliated with, I wouldn't think he's soft. But at the end of the day, you have to define soft. I knew a lot of kids that went to prison that were shooting people on the street. And when they went to prison, they weren't living that same lifestyle. You know what I mean? You take a gun out of someone's hands. A gun doesn't make you a man. Academy Homes in Boston? Yeah, I know where that's at. Hey, Zach, I appreciate you, bro. From my side of Washington. I never met biker gangs in Florida. There was clubs. There was a club in Tampa. But I never actually met any of them up the road or nothing like that. I'm 24 right now. I'll be 25 in August. Did my name ring bells in the street? Yeah. If you read the comments, there's people that knew me from high school. I was only in high school till like sophomore year, but there are plenty of people that know me that's jumped on these videos. And not that I hit them up, they just came across these videos and hit me up. Matter of fact, the kid that told on me in high school commented on these videos thinking I forgot he told on me. The plants are doing good. They're getting big now. North Tampa neighborhood, yes, sir. Yeah, I like the artwork too. She did real good with the artwork. I need more face tats. Yeah, we got an opioid epidemic in Massachusetts. It's real bad. It's real bad. So, you know, when I first got out, my third day out, I put myself into a sober living facility because I didn't have anything on the street. I didn't have any home to go to or anything like that. I made the decision to leave Florida because of the PRI laws, where if you get, I'll get into more detail in a video for that specifically, but yeah, we got a crisis up here as far as the drugs go. Trying to go full YouTuber. I already am full YouTuber. My accent is alluring. I appreciate it. What are you doing in Florida? How you make it there if you from Mass? I moved down to Florida when I was 13 to live with my grandmother at the time. I'm a Virgo. How many tats do I have? I lost count, man. I got, so all right, I'll break down some tattoos for y'all. My hand was done in prison. If y'all check my Instagram, Murder Bebo did my whole hand tattoo. So it says Grand Theft Auto. It's kind of messed up right here because I did a front flip off a bike and messed my hand up. But it says Grand Theft Auto, rated M, trigger finger with the little face. I got the Jordan, ball till I fall, the bones. This is the most painful tattoo I've ever gotten, down to the, I didn't even want it down to the fingertips. I just wanted it to here. But I got this tattoo literally like 2 weeks before I went home. So my brother was like, nah, this your last TOA trade here. I'm doing it all the way. So I just had to, you know what I mean? Just suck it up and eat it. But most of my tattoos like this was also in prison. This was freehand too. He didn't draw this. He didn't sketch it. He didn't even ask me what I wanted. I just said do some demons on there. He just did it. So that was straight freehand work. The rest of these tattoos that I have, you know, all of this other stuff I had when I was like 17. I got my face, my eye when I was either 17 or right when I turned 18. I didn't have my throat done until I got out. I got the 500 on my forehead after I got out. I got the Versace on my shoulders. I got the chain link fence. That was recent. That was the Versace and the fence were my most recent tattoos. But I plan on going all out. I got the back of my neck a style with the laugh, I'll cry later. I got my thighs done, but I'm not putting that on YouTube. Were the Spanish guys the best tattoo artists? I mean, this one was good. You had a lot of white dudes that were really good tattoo artists too. Y'all can see my throat again. It says alive going across with the Roman numeral 5. So 5 alive. If I see you in Doc, can I get my TOH? It depends on what part of Dorchester you're in. You might not be in my part of Dorchester. I don't think I ever went to Lakeland in Florida. Does bad hygiene get you beat up in jail? If your bunkie gets tired of smelling you, when you're in confinement, we don't even get hygiene. So like when you're in confinement, you only get state soap, which doesn't even have a scent. You're not getting canteen toothpaste. If you go into confinement with a fresh bar of canteen soap, excuse me, or you know, toothpaste or something, they'll let you get it in there. But other than that, you don't get nothing in confinement. Nothing. You don't get radios. You don't get anything. I've heard some places get TVs. We don't get nothing. You get paper. You get your mail. You might get your address book. You can get pens, like flexible pens. That's it. You don't get anything else. Can you live off prison food? No. So when I went into prison, I was 200. Oh no, when I went into county jail, I was 210 pounds. I had just got out of a program at the time, which was like a juvenile thing. I was boxing at the time, so I was like in shape. I was like a solid 210 because I'm like 6'1", so 210, that's not that big to me. But eating just the regular state food, and then I got food poisoning. Like I dropped down to like 130. I was looking sick at one point. I couldn't stop throwing up. You just got out of the Jack in Tampa. I used to be in the Jack all the time. They used to put me in the little glass cell because I'd be talking to the girls on the girl side all this. Yeah, I used to love the Jack. I didn't love the Jack, but it's fun. It's juvie. You know what I mean? It's not as serious as county. Appalachia? Or you mean Appalachie? AG and A. I appreciate the donation, bro. Appreciate you, Seth. Best advice for beefing with someone on a higher level. What do you mean by higher level? Because we don't have like leveled yas or nothing like that. If you're beefing with someone that you think is tougher than you or something like that, there's no shame in losing a fight. You know what I mean? There's no shame in it. The only person I know that hasn't lost a fight is what, Mayweather? Everybody else has lost before. You know what I mean? As long as you have the heart to do what you have to do, it is what it is. Now, if it's more of a deadlier situation, you gotta handle business. You know what I mean? Especially if you feel like that person can overpower you physically, because you don't know how far it's gonna go after that when that person has that control over you. Have I ever TOA someone on the streets? I mean, when we was in high school, we test each other, you know what I mean? Or we test other people. It's just fighting, but we're not extorting people, nah. Do they fight over the remote? So we don't have remotes. We just have a TV up on the wall. And sometimes you'll have a person that'll just go unplug it and start a big fight. Lyle, I appreciate you, bro. Can you explain why your hand says Grand Theft Auto? My hand says Grand Theft Auto because that was my favorite game growing up. I was playing Grand Theft Auto since I was little on the PS1. Grand Theft Auto, Tomb Raider, and Resident Evil. That's what my dad used to play, so that's what I was playing. But at the time, you know what I mean, when I was a teenager, my life was like a game. I didn't take it serious, you know what I mean? And my favorite game was Grand Theft Auto, and a lot of the crazy things you do in that game, I was doing in real life. So, you know what I mean? Like the trigger finger that I got here, it's the same trigger you use on the remote, you know what I mean? So it's all, you know, rated M. It has to do more or less with the game. But that's just kind of how my lifestyle was at the time. Same thing, like I got the Monopoly Man right here. I was feeling like the Monopoly man when I got that tattoo. I walked into the tattoo shop. I think I was 16, 17. I'm not allowed to get tatted yet. And I pulled out, a couple grand, like, what's up? Hey, he did all my tats. Do I like boxing? Yeah. Boxing, like, I got fat now because my girl can cook. But boxing for me, I couldn't just go in the gym and just start lifting weights. I didn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? So with boxing, it's more of a team thing because we had a whole team. But also, you can't just start slacking. Like if you're lifting weights and no one's really got my attention, you know what I mean? Like it was good for me to work out like that. It helped me stay focused. Pisces, nah. I thought that was like a federal thing. We don't have them in Florida. Nah, I never did a tournament. I never got my hands registered. I just sparred in the gym and stuff like that. I never took it that serious. I actually got taken out of boxing because I was getting in too much trouble. My aunt didn't want to pay for it anymore. Asian gangs, they didn't exist in Florida. I only met one Asian person my whole time in Florida, and he wasn't in anything. Up north, I appreciate you, bro. You guys slept in front of your girlfriend. That doesn't mean nothing. If she's still rocking with you, she's still rocking with you. You ain't got nothing to prove, bro. How you handle a loss gets more respect than anything. You know what I mean? How you bounce back from that loss, it's just what you do. You don't necessarily need to bounce back with violence. You know what I mean? But everybody takes losses, bro. You just keep pushing like nothing happened. How do you bounce back? You learn from it. That's the best advice I can give you. Just learn from it. No, I never went through it with the 13s. I've been out since 2015. I never got my nose broken in a prison fight. I got my nose broken twice. One from a golf club and then one from getting hit in the face, but it wasn't from any, it was a family thing. It was a family situation from when I was a kid. Like, I think the first time when I was like 7 or 8, and the second time I was like 11 or 12. Hey, shout out my boy Eddie Tampa in this bit. You already know, bruh. That's somebody I went to high school with right there. Y'all want to ask him about me? Nah, we don't have any weights in Florida State Prison, period. There's no weights in prison, period. People get killed with weights. They had them back in the day, but they took them out. Prison fighting tips, yeah, don't go to prison because there ain't no fighting. I never ran into any Norteños, ever. Never met them. Falkenberg ain't really scary, bro. Falkenberg is jail, but it's not really that. It's not nothing too crazy, bro. There's no like weapons or nothing like that. There's fighting, a lot of fighting and things, but you don't have to be scared of prison. You just have to respect it. That's the thing. Like they try to make y'all so scared of prison. They don't understand that there's some kids out there that look at it like a challenge. Like, you're not gonna scare me. I got too much hot for that. You know what I mean? You don't have to be scared of it. You just have to respect it and know what comes with it once you're in that situation. We tell you these stories, and I try to tell you these stories as graphically as I can, just so you can understand what I went through. You know what I mean? Everybody's situation is different, but you don't have to be scared of it. You just have to respect it. If you're already scared of it, then you need to get up out of that lifestyle. And if you're getting put into a situation, there was times I wouldn't say I was scared, but I felt sick to my stomach. You know what I mean? Fear is a normal emotion, but if you can avoid putting yourself in that situation to begin with, you good, bro. How did I first link with death? So I was watching Death's videos for a little while. I started off watching Bounce Back B. Big shout out to Bounce Back B. I saw his interview on Big Herc about Florida State Prison, so that's what stood out to me. And I really liked everything that he was saying about it, but I also felt I could put out a different perspective, being that I was a youth offender. With Death, the last video I saw, it was titled Former White Blood. And then as I watched his interview, he was saying things like, oh, when I bame home and bumming home, and I never heard of a former blood, period. Like, it don't really fly like that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you're former, you should leave the lingo in the past. You shouldn't still be using the lingo and using that type of swag and kind of affiliating yourself with how you talk. If you left it in the past, leave it all the way in the past. So I hit up Death like, hey, you know, let me put on. You know what I mean? White blood over here. You can check my Instagram. Every story I tell you is going to be verified. If you want to verify by the people I did it with, I can do that too. I'm still in contact with everybody that I know. You know what I mean? They got a JPay app. I email my people all the time. I send them pictures and money all the time. I send them videos all the time. You know what I mean? So I'm still in contact with everyone. I didn't leave nobody in the past. And that's really why I want to bring this channel up. So when people come home, I can be at the gates waiting for them to come home and have a platform to put them on. So when they come out here, they don't feel like they're by themselves. You know what I mean? I can get on that Greyhound with them and take that bus ride to whatever city they want to go. Let them adjust a little bit, but I have a platform for them. A lot of them are artists, music artists. You can draw, tattoo. A lot of talented people are inside of prison, can sing. So, you know, being able to have a platform like this and being able to put my own people on when they come home, it's a blessing. What part of Tampa you from? I remember you saying you didn't like people from West Tampa. Nah, I grew up on the north side of Tampa. I stayed on Waters Ave. So I was all through Sulphur Springs, Cross Bush, Cross Fletcher. My first high school was on 15th and Fowler. I went to Brooks de Bartolo. We used to go to Copeland Park for PE because we didn't even have a gym. So we used to fight all the kids that lived over there that didn't go to school. And then my other high school was Chamberlain High. So I was always in North Tampa. But I knew some kids from the West, though, that I was cool with. But there was times when North Tampa and West Tampa would bump heads. One of my people moved to West Tampa, though, by Hollywood Nights. So I started hanging around that side of West Tampa a little bit more. My thoughts about Big Herc's channel. Hey, I support everything that he's doing. Shout out to Big Herc. I had reached out to him. More or less, he told me that he does like in-person interviews and things of that nature. I don't think he was all the way feeling the information that I'm putting out. Hey, I appreciate you, Mitch. That's real now. I don't think he was, because, you know, in his interviews, he really wants to focus on the positivity. He doesn't want to send off the wrong message. I respect that 110%. But me, myself, I want to give it to y'all blood raw because that's how my bid was. I'm telling you how my bid was. I don't want to sugarcoat it because when I grew up, it was sugarcoated for me and it didn't stop me from getting into anything. Versus if I knew the realities of it, I feel that that could have affected me in a different way at a younger age. Yeah, blood and NPR were always usually like this here. If I was there, it was like that because I'm from Tampa. You know what I mean? But we were usually 57 Love all day. Yeah, I know people from St. Pete. How long did it take to learn sign language? I learned sign language in probably 30 minutes. So I went to court and I was sitting next to one of my brothers and he started teaching me. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. He was doing it. I started following him. I started doing it and I didn't stop doing it the whole day we were at court. When we went back from court, I told everybody in the dorm, don't talk to me, sign me. So I just started, you know what I mean? That's how we text. But that's how I learned how to sign language. How was my fishing game? I could fish off the top tier into the bottom tiers. I was a master at fishing. Yeah, that's prison texting. That's how we text. Or if we're in confinement looking out the window, like if someone says shoot it, that means like, hey, send me the pictures. Like, hey, shoot the pictures, bro. All that sign language. I'm not really gonna answer gang related questions because that's not what this is about. You know what I mean? If you're in tune with it and you want to know about me, you can figure out everything about me by looking at me, by viewing how I talk. My tattoos, my Instagram will tell you everything you need to know. If you know how to read it, you'll know what it is. But as far as just asking me gang stuff, that's not what this channel is about. What's my IG? Let me show y'all. My Instagram is 1090Jake. 1090_Jake. What was the worst part of prison? I mean, the whole thing was the worst. The hottest was going home. That was tough. I really want to save that though, for a video. I want to get into detail about when I went home, but that was one of the hottest things for me, was going home and the time leading up to it. How many fights have I been in? What, in prison or on the street? Nico, you're gonna have to comment again so you can answer that. In prison or on the street? Yeah, there was a lot of real rights from New York that was inside of prison. A lot of them that did time with a lot of big names. On the street, I can't even count how many times I fought on the street. It wasn't an insane amount, but I was getting into it. In prison, I only fought like 7 times. That doesn't count TOHs though, when you're getting jumped and all that. Like one-on-one fights, I only fought like 7 times. And that was like at the very beginning of my bid. It got to a point where certain spots I was at, there wasn't any fighting. Was I able to get a hold of books? I read so many books. I didn't discriminate on any book. I love all books. I was reading Westerns, romances. One of my favorite authors is James Patterson. I read a ton of the Game of Thrones books. I never watched Game of Thrones, but I read all the books because they were the biggest books in prison. So I would get the biggest books I could find and fly through them. I read all like the hood books. I loved reading, especially during confinement time. You read anything you can get. It's like a movie, you know what I mean? These comments are going kind of fast. 48 Laws of Power. Yeah, that was like the first thing that everyone reads in county jail. Talk about losing a fight. I told you I lost a fight in my first video. I fought solo. I didn't feel like I lost after I found out who he was, but I lost. Rap battle me? I can't rap. Do I play video games all day? All day. I got a PS4. I got a PS4 and an Xbox, whatever the newest one is. I got both of them. Any shooter game, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Blackout, PUBG, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm on all that. The Art of War, I read that too. Yeah, I want that PS5. When that comes out, I'm getting that. My PS4 crashed. It just kept shutting off. I sent that out. They sent it back. It got that blue light or whatever. So I bought the Xbox because it wasn't working. My gamer tag on Xbox is 1090Jake. So it's TEN90 Jake. And that's on Xbox. Am I off papers? Yeah, I was never on papers when I got out. I didn't have any supervision, probation, anything like that when I got out. I got sentenced to 36 months straight, and that was it. Do I have kids? Yes, I have a daughter. She's 19 months old. What drugs have I done in prison? I only did the psych medication that they give you, which is probably the worst thing I ever did. K2 and just regular weed. Oh, and I drank. So we made alcohol in there too. That was fun. So I'm actually, the next story that I tell, like actual video, I'm gonna touch down on the alcohol. Do a stream with Viking. I'm down. He seems like a solid dude. I think that caught a lot of y'all by surprise. Like most of the white guys that I came across inside of prison, I was cool with, even though they were in their own thing, whether it was, you know, Odinism or, you know, you had the guys that was rocking swastikas, you had the Unforgiven. I was cool with a lot of them. A lot of them respected me because they knew what I went through to be affiliated by the people that I was affiliated with. But not only was I claiming something, I was accepted by those people and I held rank on the compounds that I was at. So it wasn't like I was some soldier getting told what to do. At certain points in times, I was telling people what to do. I put in a lot of work in prison. K2 is synthetic marijuana. So spice, K2, you know, that synthetic stuff that came out. A lot of it was like the stuff you could get at the corner store. Now people are just spraying things with pesticides and all kinds of stuff, and they're smoking it now. That's why everybody's like overdosing in Florida State Prison. It wasn't as bad when I was in there. But yeah, I'm Irish and Italian. I'm proud of it. I don't try to act like I'm anything else. I don't. How I talk is I'm a product of my environment. The culture was my environment, not my race. You know what I'm saying? Like, what set am I? I told you, bro. If you know anything about anything, you go on my Instagram. It explains everything, but you have to be able to know what you're breaking down. If you know how to read hieroglyphics, you can read and know what it is. Did I flirt with any female guards? Of course. Had to. Of course. That's how I got cigarettes. So I think prison is getting better or worse. Well, every year, Florida State Prison's death toll rises. So we have, I believe, the highest amount of deaths out of any prison system. We're the third largest prison system in the United States. So like if you put it on a scale of who I believe are the top 3 worst prisons, not in order, just the top 3, I'd say it's Cali, Texas, and Florida from what I've heard. If you want to get into detail on the statistics though, Bounce Back B actually has, let me see, because he changed his channel name to his actual name. So that's bro's channel right there. Statistics regarding Florida State Prison. Super, super awesome dude. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes on things. Real respectable guy. If y'all haven't subscribed to him, definitely check him out. You'll subscribe after watching one of his videos. Yeah, Charlotte CI has always been bad. Always been bad. I like indica better. I got like I'm all the way retarded, bro. I got PTSD, I got depression, I got bipolar, I got a whole lot. You know what I mean? And I had most of these things before I even went to prison. I was a psych case. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to prison, it just made these things even worse. And you know, in the story in X'd Out, when I talk about what I did to that kid, it was also out of a sense of just paranoia. You know what I mean? How he was cool with me, then he was acting like he wasn't, then he was acting like he was. I just had all these thoughts running through my head. I didn't know if he was gonna do something, if I was gonna do. Yeah, ADHD. I got all that. So I like indicas because they chill me out. Sativas, I get real paranoid. I'll still mess with a sativa if I'm in my house, but if I'm outside, I'm indica. Hey, Dennis. Hey, happy birthday, bro. I don't know what happened to the kid that cut me. I have no idea what happened to him. I knew he was doing 10 years, so he's still in there because he had 10 mandatory. The kid that hit me with the brick, he got flipped. I never personally got him back, but he got put in the room with my brother right after that happened. So I was in the cell upstairs. The kid that busted me was in the cell downstairs with my brother. I don't think he ate for like 3 weeks. I don't know how he was still like alive. How could I hit you up? I'm in recovery. Yo, Angelo, hit me up on Instagram at 1090 underscore Jake. Definitely hit me up, bro. Nah, the kid that cut me was black. I had a bunkie in confinement that cut my cheek when I was asleep, but the razor was dull. So like it was just a scratch. It didn't scar or anything like that. And I got up, we started fighting, we got gassed, but I never got into it with really any other race. Like I didn't ever got into it with white people like that. We were at war with the Zoes, so it was mostly like, you know what I mean, Haitians I was getting into it with. But I knew some real ones too, so it wasn't always war. Do I think I'll make a trip out to California? I would like to come to California, but everybody keeps telling me that if I go to Cali, that they're gonna flip me. So I don't know. I'd like to link up. I really I respect the politics out there. It's very respectable, even though it's separated in a lot of different ways. It's respectable how they run it and how certain things are not allowed. I really respect that. Um, Death did an interview with a guy from Cali recently, and I've been watching all of his videos and just hearing him talk. I respect everything about how he talks. You know what I mean? I can't speak on how we would get along because I don't know how his beliefs, if they carry out into the streets as well. I don't know if he wouldn't be allowed to affiliate with me based off of his affiliation, but I respect how they be moving out there. You know what I mean? It's a mutual respect until disrespect, but I appreciate anybody that enforces their politics because the thing about society is you have so many people that have opinions but don't enforce them. And in a place like prison, if you don't enforce your opinion, if you don't enforce your politics, there's no point even speaking on them. You know what I mean? In society, you know, it's the president, the politicians, the government that sends all the young kids to war. You know what I mean? They're not physically able to go. If we gave Trump a gun and told him to go to war, he's not going to go to war, bro. He's going to send the army and everything else. Versus in prison, you enforce your own politics, and that's what you stand on. And I respect anybody that stands on their politics, regardless of, you know, how it goes against mine. Blue Ocean Valley, I appreciate you, man. I never met K Frog, but hey, big shout out to K Frog. I've been watched his videos like a year ago, 2 years ago. I saw his videos a long time ago before he ever got brought on the lockdown. So Death told me he had another person from Florida that he was gonna bring on the show. And then when it finally dropped, I saw it was K Frog. So I hit up K Frog on Instagram, like, dang, bro, I didn't know it was gonna be you on there. But yeah, that's really how it is though. You know, most places where they have phones like that, it's a little bit less laid, like it's more laid back because if people are getting stabbed up, the COs are searching for knives and then they'll find the phones. But where he was at was some real compounds. And for him to be white and stand on his own, you know what I mean? And rock with the people that he rocked with, he putting himself in the mix by rocking with the people he rocking with and staying real. So, you know, much respect to him. But yeah, ain't nothing fraudulent about that. If y'all think it's fake, try to do what he did. White boys aren't walking around with cell phones like that. Hey, DJ, I appreciate you, bro. What movie most accurately depicts prison life? None for Florida. I can't speak on West Coast prisons, and a lot of the prison movies I've seen are like West Coast type prison movies, but none of them represent Florida. Nah, there's no Aryan in Florida, bro. I even talked to somebody that's Unforgiven about that. Unforgiven's the only thing that's rocking a swastika inside of Florida. If you got an AB that came from the feds or something like that, you might have a case like that, but they're not coming home inside of Florida State Prison. American Me is a good movie. It's just, it ain't got nothing to do with Florida. And the whole rape scene, like, that wouldn't have happened like that. Yeah, K-Frog crazy. I just saw the video of him today jumping into the pool. He living life, man. He living life. That's what I like to see. Yeah, Florida's one big psych ward. You just go to Disney and get the hell out. That's it. I met a lot of people from Palm Beach. Shout out my boy Cody. Shout out my boy Jacob. I met a lot of people from Palm Beach. Strong Ocho, I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I was in I Block in Lake Butler. The comments are going so fast. Hey, John, I appreciate you, bro. Why did I join the gang? I was already surrounded by those people already. You know what I mean? I was already affiliated heavily. So it's just like, you gonna stand with the people, you gonna rock with the people you stand with. You know what I mean? We just decided to put a title on it, and that's really how it came about. What was my favorite and least favorite prison meal? I hated everything in prison. I didn't want to eat anything in there. Yeah, we got the death penalty in Florida. YNW Melly's facing death right now. We got death, but you'll do like 20 years on death row before they execute you. Texas, they be getting them up out of there. They do it real quick. But in Florida, nah, you're going to sit for like 20 years before you get executed. What is my biggest fear? Spiders. I don't like spiders. I don't care. I'm not I don't like bugs, period. I had a bunkie. Matter of fact, the same bunkie that I fought, the first one that I had in confinement at the youth offender, we had roaches. I used to make him kill the roaches. I don't care. I'll, beat him before I hate bugs. I don't like bugs. I don't like bugs. I don't like heights, but I love roller coasters. I heard Texas is wild. Yeah, we used to get poisonous spiders in our cell. Spiders that if they bit you, they put a hole in your leg. But we used to have other spiders. I forget what they're called, but they fight. They're real little spiders, and they got bumpers, and they're like cute. Like, they're not even like, they don't jump or nothing. But we would put the spiders in a little soap dish together, and they would start fighting each other, and we would bet on the fights. We used to fight spiders all the time. One time there was a snake versus a frog. The frog didn't win. You got to be a real one to survive anywhere, bro. Gang affiliation has nothing to do with being real and surviving. You got to be real to survive anywhere if you're going to put yourself in a situation like prison. Yeah, hey, I like that comment, Carolina Kush. Y'all got to hit that like button. There's 333 people in here. I got 139 likes. Is y'all rocking with me? Is y'all rocking with me? What's up? Am I ever going to go to Alaska? I would like to go to Alaska to see the Northern Lights. I wouldn't mind that. Other than that, nah. I don't really like the cold. Nah, I've never done time in New York. I barely ever even been in New York. I drove through New York like one time. What's my opinion on XXX? That's a sad story, bro. That's a sad story, and you know, it just goes to show that people will take life and lose their own for a little bit of money. That was a real messed up case. Chris, I appreciate you, bro. Alaska isn't cold? Since when? I know there ain't palm trees in Alaska. What type of not cold are you talking about? Do you not consider like 40 cold? Because in Florida, 60's cold. No, what you talk about? Alaska ain't cold. Miami ain't hot. Nah, I don't like bugs at all, bro. But Boston got mice, and you can't squish them because it's all blood and guts. So it's I don't know. I think I'd rather deal with the bugs. Yeah, I'm Irish and Italian. Prospector Rob, I appreciate you, bro. Dang, there's so many comments. If I show you, gonna give me $2 if I show you my. What you think I'm bald, bro? I got hair. I ain't losing my hair. I'm good. My people die with hair. We don't even go gray. I got a couple grays just from stressing in prison, but I ain't going bald no time soon. You better send them $2 too. I just showed you my hairline. Don't be lying now. Let me scroll back up and see who that was. Oh, I don't even think I can. I'll put you on blast. I'll put you on blast about them $2. Yeah, I appreciate that. B France, I appreciate that. My daughter is very beautiful. Hey, thank you, bro. You sent those $2. You a real one, bro. Nice guy. You a real one. Who's my favorite rapper? I don't know. I got a list of favorite rappers. I got a list. Wayne, Eminem, Biggie, Pac. I got a list. You know what I mean? Nipsey, I wasn't as in tune. I wish I was, but I wasn't as in tune with Nipsey. But, you know, when it comes to just rapping, it isn't just about being like, you know, your bars and all that to me. It's about your whole persona as a human being. And what Nipsey did as a rapper definitely puts him in one of my tops because he created a whole movement. You know what I mean? And a lot of y'all ask me, am I still banging? Am I still doing this and that? Gang banging doesn't mean everybody's just getting shot and all that. Y'all see the movement Nipsey had going on. That's what a lot of us are trying to push out now. Unification and progression. You know what I'm saying? So Nipsey's definitely on that list. I was rocking with Gucci since back in the day. Y'all just got on Gucci now that he's on the radio. We were listening to the mixtapes back in the day. Caught you trolling. Appreciate you, bro. You already know. Will I dance for you if you throw money in my face? Nah, what do I look like? Money is appreciated, but it's not needed like that, bro. I work and everything still, bro. You tripping. Old hip hop and new stuff. I like a mix. I like a mix. I like a lot of the old stuff too, though. A pack of cigarettes cost you $200 in Florida prison. So it's $10 a cigarette. If you got Newports, you can sell them for even more. What do I do for work? Anything. Anything that'll hire me. Anything. What I was doing when I first came up here, I was at Dunkin' Donuts. I was at a pizza place, and I was managing a smoke shop in the city. So the smoke shop is kind of how I got my foot in the door with everything, you know, marijuana related. Up here, growing is recreational, smoking is recreational, medical. I'm a medical patient. So I got into the growing aspect of it. Now I kind of want to transition into the recreational aspect. I can't work in the medical field as far as marijuana goes because of the criminal record. So when it's medicinal, they take it just as serious as a hospital. Versus recreational, it's much more open with the laws and everything like that. So I can really get into a recreational place, which is what I would like to do since I got all the retail experience. And that's actually what's funny is these stories that I tell y'all, I used to tell my customers at the smoke shop. And I mean, I'd have some customers stay for like 2 hours as I'm telling these stories. And my manager at the time used to always be like, don't talk about prison. Don't talk about prison. You're going to scare people away. Now look at me. Turn a negative into a positive. You know what I mean? Hey, Manny, bro, I appreciate you, bro. That's real now. Thomas, appreciate from Portugal. What? That's awesome. Wrong for line. Bet that up, bro. Did I stay smoking as much as I could if we had it? Ain't nothing else to do. Tupac or Biggie? Biggie. They do appreciate it, man. Once you finish with these prison stories, get those inspirational stories on deck. You already know, bro. Fractal, bet that up. From Texas too. My side to your side, bro. Australia, that's insane. I had so many people hit me up from Australia. I would love to interview one of y'all like MCs out of Australia. I think that would be dope. Australia, New Zealand, just to get perspectives from around the world. Like if I can really take this YouTube platform and make something with it, I would love to travel and interview different groups in different countries and be able to, you know, experience the same things they experience, because we all share a struggle when we come from places like prison. But being able to unify that on a worldwide level, it's insane, bro. The 21 days I did in a psych cell, I used to think, what did I want to do when I got out? And what I used to think about is making videos. I didn't know about, you know, Vine. I didn't know about really like YouTube like this. I was into graffiti. That was about it. Hey, bro, I appreciate you, bro. My side to Cali, bro. B Wizzy 86. That's real. But now that I'm doing these videos and stuff, I never imagined it would be like this, but it's almost like I'm starting to live out what I was thinking about inside of that psych cell, what I wanted to do. It just took me a minute to find my place, you know what I mean? And really get into this. I wasn't, you know, comfortable on camera. I've never been, you know, that comfortable talking in front of a lot of people anyway, but prison kind of broke me out of my shell. And Death gave me the opportunity. Big shout out to him, man. Big shout out to him. Death gave me the opportunity to spit my story. I had no intentions of taking off with YouTube, but I felt like all the love and support that I was getting, I'd be stupid not to take the opportunity. You know what I mean? Yeah, so in prison, they have in the youth offenders, they have a saying, the extended day creed. Joshua, I appreciate you, bro. I've seen the knuckle fights. I've seen the New Zealand fights in prison on YouTube. They're crazy. But on the extended day creed is, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your feelings. Watch your feelings, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your lifestyle. Watch your lifestyle, it controls your destiny. I am reckless. I appreciate you, man. DMS, thank you. Jay, ooh, appreciate you. That's real. Family, man, appreciate you. From Inglewood, too. Shout out to Inglewood. He said, you getting that bread. Hey, it's much appreciated. It's all going back into the channel. Y'all going to see the progression. You see the artwork. You see the camera got better. Everything is going to get more souped up. He said, I'm getting that rent paid. That's real. That's real, man. The support is what keeps me going, for real, bro. That's really, the support turns into motivation. And that's how it's supposed to be. And that's how I want it to be for y'all. So if someone gets out of prison and they don't know what direction they can turn to, they can look at these videos and see someone progressing. That's what I see when I look at, Death, lockdown 23-1. When I look at Bounce Back B, when I look at Big Herc, I see a felon taking something and progressing with it. You know, we'll see a lot of felons, they got to work in the back of the kitchen or something. They can't show their face because they got tattoos, so they got to hide them in the back. And it's good to see people excelling beyond the stereotypes, beyond the tattoos, beyond the you don't fit mainstream society's image. I love it. Shout out from Germany. That's crazy, bro. John, I appreciate you, man. That's real. What am I doing for my homies locked up? Supporting them all the way through, maintaining contact, you know, letting them know what I'm doing. When I tell, there's people that are locked up that have heard my videos, that have had their people on the phone play my video in the background, and they will keep calling back, spending up the money on the phone just to hear what I'm saying. And then they'll get in contact with me and tell me how proud they are that I'm doing this. I'm in contact with every single body from prison that means something to me. Everybody on my Instagram, I'm in contact with everybody, bro. How can you get some outward to me? Hit me up on my Instagram. DM me. I buzz back to every DM. It's hard to buzz back to all the comments, but every DM I'm buzzing back. Why don't I have people on the channel to confirm my stories? Well, for one, I don't need confirmation. I don't need to validate anything for you specifically. You know what I'm saying? If you really, you can relate. If you've been through what I've been through, you will understand what I'm saying. When someone speaks on prison, a convict will pick up on it and know what's authentic and what isn't. My story was already validated off of everything that Death did. Now, as far as me bringing on people that have actually seen me do things, I already said I was going to do that. If you want to go through and see who likes my pictures and responds to my pictures on Instagram and all that, you can talk to him, reach out to him. I had someone from high school I was with commenting in here right now. You know what I mean? But someone that needs to prove themselves is going to go out of their way to prove themselves. I have nothing to prove. This isn't a channel about me proving myself. That's what got me in prison in the first place. I got to step your game up, man. JC is my name. I appreciate it. JC is my initials. You feel me? New Orleans. That's what's up. New Orleans. I knew a couple people from New Orleans. Bro, I know him. I'll answer all questions. Drew, how do you know me? I don't know you. Where I know you from? Revere, Mass in the house. I got family in Revere. Revere, Medford, Malden, all that. Kelly's roast beef. Yup. Yup. You already know. Somerville. Shout out to Somerville. Where's your TOH? You don't need a TOH, bro. We're not in prison. How do you stop getting bullied? You stop letting it bother you. Bullying doesn't have to be physical. In most cases with bullies, it's more verbal abuse than anything. Bullying is just, it's about how you let it bother you and if you let it affect you. And use me as an example. Out of the thousands of comments that I get are supportive, I get hundreds that are negative. But it's a matter of what I focus on. If I only focus on the negative, all I will see is the negative. If all I focus on is the positive, that's all I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Surround yourself with positivity. There's no room for negativity. If people are bringing you down, do your best to stay away from those people, but learn from it. There's always a reason they're doing something. And if you feel that something's wrong with you, you do your best to understand why you feel that way. If you feel something about how you are physically, try to do something to change that if you can. Work out, whatever it is. Build your confidence and build your self-esteem. Bullying won't be a factor. You're always going to have people that don't like you. I got a ton of people that don't like me on here. It is what it is. Not too many of them are willing to enforce politics, like I said. But you got to focus on the positive. Prospector, when's the next story time? Couple of days. I'm gonna give it like a day or two. I really want to bring my boy on here, so I'm trying to do that before I drop another one. Appreciate you, John. Daniel, appreciate it. You already know. I'm in Dorchester now, so I'm in Boston right now. I only lived in Malden for 1 year of my life. I was born there. I didn't live there after I was born there. And then I lived there for 1 year when I was in 7th grade. I don't really say I'm from there. I was just born there. You know what I mean? Where in Dorchester? I'm on Dudley Street. I'm in the hood. Shout out to Fields Corner. Favela family. That's real now. That's real. That's real. I already know Carolina Kush. Anybody asking for validation wants attention, but at the same time, it gives me a chance to speak on how I feel about validation, and other people can hear my perspective on it, and maybe that'll make them feel like they don't need to validate themselves to anybody else, and that's what I'm hoping they feel like. So I accept the negative with the positive because it's yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. I'm just going to show y'all how I approach negative comments. You know what I mean? And that's how I approach it. I look at it in a different manner. I'll say something back to you, but I want to also show y'all how I handle these negative situations so y'all can learn from it as well. Dang, we got 581 people watching this right now. 576 is jumping, but 289 likes. At least get it to 300. Y'all can get it to 300 now. Yeah, I think about bringing people on my show. I think about traveling to go meet up with people to put them on the show. You know, when I get my pockets right enough to be able to do that, I would love to do that. You know, go and fly to different places and interview people. I was telling my girl, I'll fly to where Death at. You know what I'm saying? Have him run a little tattoo on me if he's down. I don't really get into out of prison stories because the things we were doing, it's it's insane. I might tell y'all about like parties and stuff like that in the future, maybe a couple fights, but nothing too crazy. Cape Verdeans run Boston. No comment. My girl Cape Verdean and Trini. My babies, my daughter is Cape Verdean, Trinidadian, Irish, and Italian. That's a hell of a mix, huh? She gonna have a little attitude when she grow up. Joshua Wilcox, appreciate you, man. I'm gonna run out of stories. How am I gonna run out of stories? Because I got people that got stories to tell too. Tommy Reed, appreciate you, bro. My side of Baltimore, bro. That's real, bro. We need 500 likes. Hey, I like that, West Side. That's real. 500 likes, straight up. Dang, the lights went up by almost like 100. Okay, y'all ain't playing. Where is my Italian family from? Italy. Italy. Where specifically, I have no idea. But it's my great-great-grandfather is the one that came from Italy. I believe. Or my great-grandfather. I don't know. It's one of them. But it's not that many generations back. Show some of my mugshots. Look me up. Listen, this is another thing too. Florida is public. All of our arrests, all of our prison information is public information. If you Google me, all of my stuff pops up. There's no hiding it. Brandon Mack. Hey, shout out to Philly, bro. Dang, let me scroll back up and see what that said, if I can. My step-pot license just got commuted. 31 years, just got home, so you know we supporting. Hey, that's real. I'm glad they freed him, man. That's real. That's real. I hope he gets to enjoy time with y'all, man. That's amazing. Yeah, Florida, bro. You can Google anybody in Florida, bro, and pull up every charge that they got hit with. It's not a secret. There's no hiding your charges in Florida. In Massachusetts, it's private. In Florida, you can look up people's address because felons have to register their address. You can look up whatever you want about them. You'll see my height, my tattoos, my eye color, my aliases, everything. Is my chain real? What type of question is that? Why would I have a fake chain? Matter of fact, let me shout them out. So if y'all go on my Instagram and you look at who I follow, go on Raise Golden Cash, REYS. They're out of Miami, Florida. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it, but it says Ray's name right here. He signs it himself. It says Ray and it says 14 karat. But yeah, this is a Miami Cuban link, handmade in Miami. If y'all want a real authentic Miami Cuban link, y'all hit up Ray's, bro. He finished this handmade custom order in 5 days. He sends you pictures and videos of the whole process and everything. Ray's Golden Cash. It's him and his wife. Awesome, amazing people. They ship it right to you. Super, super nice. Cuban links, you know, authentic Cuban links, they hang straight. Look at that. I'm not holding the bottom. Look at that. Ooh. 26 inches, 8 millimeter, 135 grams. Y'all can do the math. But yeah, my chain real, bro. Let me see if I can put it on with the hat. Probably not. What was the ticket on that necklace? It was up there. It wasn't cheap, I'll tell you that. I'm not going to put it out there for everybody else, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all want to hit them up, they do custom orders. You know what I mean? If you want a certain millimeter, if you want a certain width, if you want a certain weight, whatever you want, they hook it up for real. Ray's Golden Cash. If you go on my Instagram, I follow them. They have videos of everything. They have my chain on video on their thing. Super, super amazing people. Miami, Florida, they ship it to you. They have your chain handmade in 5 days. My Instagram name, I'll show y'all again. Right there. 1090_Jake. Right there. 451, bro. We almost at 500 likes. I'm gonna end this video at when we hit the 30-minute mark. We're at 24 minutes right now. Cause I gotta get back to my baby, you know what I mean? But we'll definitely keep doing this though. I like this live. I didn't know it was gonna work. I was trying to do it off of another thing. It wasn't working. The Wi-Fi was messing up. I've never been to 33rd in Orlando, but I've been to Orlando's Juvenile. I think I was in E2. And the CEOs used to get Redbox movies, and we would watch Redbox movies in there. My favorite sports team? What sport? Anything Boston, the Bucks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But sports-wise, though, I'm really into like UFC more than anything else. I can't watch baseball and none of that. I like UFC. I suck at basketball. Just got out of Broward County. That's what's up, bro. Stay out of Broward County, man. What's my full name? Come on, bro. Conor Khabib. I wanted Conor, But that was an amazing fight, though. I ain't gonna lie. Bellator's popping. That bare knuckle thing that they got going on is popping. They're gonna have Paulie Malignaggi and Artem Lubov. They're gonna fight on there. I'm gonna watch that. He said, "Where's the like button at?" Right over there. I know, right? He asked for my full name. He's crazy. He's crazy. People commented too. The people that know me, they'll put my full name on YouTube. It ain't no pressure. You just got to do your research. I'm not gonna give you the game. If you want to find out, you got to dig deep. Hey, shout out to Queens. I'm finna get Twisted Kid on here. He's moving right now. Like I said, he's transitioning. He just got out after 10 years. Big shout out to TK. Let me show y'all his profile. So when you go on my Instagram and you see that crazy white boy right there that got all them tattoos on his face, that's my dog TK. That's his Instagram right there. Y'all go follow bro. Tell him I sent you. Joshua, I appreciate it. Yo, Israel Adesanya, that's one of my top favorites right now. Beast. I like him as a person. I like what he stands for. Did you see the video of him dancing on Instagram? He was getting it in. Nah, I'm not a fan of Paulie. I don't like how he's spitting in people's faces. He's not showing respect, and respect has always been a big part of boxing. He needs to represent himself how he's supposed to. There isn't a like button on your screen. It's all right, bro. At least you're here. Nah, TK out. It ain't free TK no more. He's out now. Yeah, Goose said get him. You know that. Dang, these comments are going so fast. What's my favorite gun? BB guns, paintball guns. You tripping. Notice you talk can't be in the room with a gun. Power Belly, I appreciate you, man. Teddy Spaghetti, if you're ever in Springfield, Max, I got you. Hercules, hey, bro, that's real, bro. I appreciate you, bro. That respect is likewise, man. Zabit, he seems crazy. Everybody that comes from wherever they come from, whatever crazy part of Europe they find them, Khabib and all that, they're on another level. They're wild. Chief Kiwi, I think you're cool too, bro. What would I do if zombies attacked right now? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the day. I'm going in. You know the girl off Walking Dead with the little katana sword? That's gonna be me. Because I don't have access to guns. I don't mess with guns, but I'll get me a little sword though. Make a little prison box. I'll be buck 50 in zombies. Hey, shout out to Australia. Yeah, we got zombies in Florida already. Anybody eat that flocka, you're gonna be a zombie. Cody Mass, what's up, bitch? Shout out my brother Cody, man. Hey. Y'all want to see a Palm Beach superstar? That's a Palm Beach superstar right there. That white boy rocking. And we were locked up together. Hey, I love you too, bro. You already know, bro. I'm down for the meetup. I'm down to meet up with people. As long as y'all ain't know nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm a father before anything, man. I'm not on none of that craziness. I'm trying to live life and stay free. If y'all on the same type of time I'm on, I'm down to meet up. Especially if you in Massachusetts. It ain't that big. Yeah, you saw the mugshot. So that's, y'all say that doesn't look like me. That's looks clearly like the mugshot that I had where I actually got my face cut. So the reason I have this picture, it's the only picture that exists of me as a 19-year-old. It's the only picture of me as a 19-year-old. That's more or less why I keep that picture, you know what I mean? But it depicts prison perfectly. But hey, I just hit that time mark. I appreciate everybody that tuned into the live. If y'all want to see more, definitely keep dropping comments on all my upcoming videos. But it's good to know y'all rocking with me. Everybody that donated is much appreciated. I got a lot more to come, trying to get all them interviews for y'all. I might do another video just touching down a little bit more on the tattoos in depth, but you know, it's more to come. We hit 518 likes. Appreciate y'all, man. Hey, y'all stay tuned, all right?